A lot of people think if they're pre-diabetic, they think it's a life sentence. And listen, guys, it's not. Okay. It's a combination of your habits and your lifestyle that have led to these things, whether it be pre-diabetes or even high blood pressure. Okay. And so in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what steps you need to start fixing now. That way things don't get worse. That way you can actually fix the issue. And so that way you are no longer pre or even type 2 diabetic. Okay. These are things that I help a lot of my coaching clients out with. Some of them are just lifestyle related. Like, for example, people who want to lose belly fat, they want to drop a lot of weight. Listen, guys, it's the lifestyle. And so I'm about to give you some critical, crucial things you want to start doing right away. Like, don't wait weeks and months because things could get worse. Okay. Number one, you have to reduce the processed foods and refined carbs. All right. What I mean by this is I see a lot of people who are eating a lot of sub sandwiches, a lot of French fries, a lot of burgers, ice cream. And guys, I get it. I know these foods taste good because I like it. I enjoy eating them too. Okay. But if you're eating foods like this, they spike our blood sugar. Okay. They spike our insulin. And when this happens over a prolonged period of time, this is how a lot of people end up being pre and type 2 diabetic because there's a lot of sugar in the blood system in our body. Okay. A couple of other foods that I typically see a lot of busy professionals dealing with eating. I'm talking about things like muffins, bagels, croissants, donuts, waffles, pancakes for breakfast. Like, guys, if you are eating foods like this to start your day off, yeah, I know in these movies and these TV shows, society in the United States has kind of like shaped us to think that we're supposed to eat these things. You know, it's like the norm. But in reality, when we're younger, it's cool. We can get away with it. Our body is able to process and break these foods down. But once we get into our late 20s, especially in our 30s, you can cancel Christmas once we're in our 40s and 50s and we're eating foods like this, you're gonna have a really hard time. And you'll notice that people start to gain a lot of belly fat, visceral fat, but it also affects our hormones. It also affects our blood glucose. Okay. And so it's important to be aware of how much food you're eating that are refined carbs, how much foods that you're eating that are processed foods. And the shift that I help a lot of my clients make, we shift from eating a lot of processed food. And I'm not saying we don't eat any processed food, but we follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, we are eating whole foods. Okay. Then the other 20%, we're eating processed or foods that we enjoy eating. Okay. And so some people might say, well, what is a whole food? What is a whole food? I'm going to give them to you. And so whole foods are foods that are the way I give it to people, the way I teach my coaching clients. A lot of people eat based on pleasure and convenience. But what we want to do is you want to eat based on value. My coaching clients who are dropping 40, 50, 60 plus pounds in 6 months. This is one of the biggest shifts that allow them to do that. Okay. Whole foods give our body value. Meaning you're not just going to lean out, but you're going to have more energy. It's going to regulate your blood sugar. It's going to help you have not just physical, but also mental energy. Okay. That way you can focus. You can get to the bag. You can enjoy life with your family. Right. And so whole foods are things like wild caught sockeye salmon, New York strip steak, any type of fruits with seeds in them, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, kiwis, apples, green leafy vegetables, and it could be kale, spinach, asparagus, one of my go-tos. You got to start eating foods like that, okay? And even healthy fats. A lot of people think if they eat fat, fat's going to make them fat. No, we need fat in our diet. And so if you want to be able to regulate your hormones, guys, your testosterone, I have guys reaching out to me saying that they're having a hard time having a strong erection. It's your hormones, testosterone. You improve your eating habits, you improve your living habits. It's a big part of your living habit, right? If you got a partner. But anyway, and then ladies, y'all too, you know, You have the hormonal belly fat. There's certain types of foods that you can start eating to get rid of the bloat, to get rid of the belly fat, to get rid of the acid reflux. Okay. And so healthy fats are things like avocados, cashews, walnuts, almonds. These are the types of foods you want to be eating on a daily basis. They're going to give you value, meaning you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more proud and confident about yourself because your body's on point. Like that's part of mental health. A lot of people don't think about that. Like if you wake up in the morning and you feel good because you like, man, look at my body. I love the way I look. Life might not even be perfect, but it's just the fact that you know you deep down, you know you're taking care of yourself. Deep down, you know you're not worried and stressing about your health. That's a part of mental health. Think about people who are waking up every day, the people who are like, they realize and recognize, man, I got to make some changes with my health. You know, some people, they're like, shoot, man, if I keep living like this, what's going to happen to my kids? If I'm not around, who's going to be around for my kids? You know? And so these are the types of things you want to be thinking. Like, don't just think based on your current circumstances, guys. You have to think based on the future version of you, the version of yourself that you know deep down you're meant to be, the version of yourself who's lean, healthy, full of energy, healthy inside and out, all right, in your mind, the whole nine, okay? And so it's super important to start living your life in that way because your external reality is all about what's in your internal reality, the way you think and view certain things, okay? So that's the first thing. I say all that to say, reduce the processed foods, reduce the refined carbs. That's the first one. Somebody comment, got it if you got it. Number two, guys, you got to stop skipping meals. A lot of the high achieving professionals that I help who are really busy, they tend to skip breakfast or they'll skip lunch. They'll like snack throughout the day and then they may eat one big meal at the end of the day. And they're like, man, I don't know why I'm not losing belly fat. I don't know why I can't lose weight. I'm barely even eating. I'm eating like 1 to 2 times a day. And then they'll say something like, maybe I need to eat more. And I'll just, it's so, because I've been doing this over 16 years, and it's just so interesting to hear people say, people who are overweight, struggling with their weight, saying they need to eat more. It's like, no, that is not what you need to do. You need a different strategy and a different approach to how you're eating. Because the people who are, it's kind of like, I got to be out in that analogy. I was actually talking to a lady the other day, and I said to her, because she was having a hard time losing weight. And so I said, do you have pets? She's like, yeah, I got a cat. And I told her, I said, so if your cat was like really overweight, what would you do to help that cat lose weight? And she said, I'd probably just feed her less food. I was like, exactly. And so it's really that simple. It's really just that simple. Okay. And so, from a weight loss perspective, we have to eat less. We're energy beings. Okay. The calories is just a metric of energy. That's all it is. Don't let it confuse you. Don't let it go over your head. If you overconsume on calories, we can't lose weight. Okay. Now, all food is not created equal because there are some foods that could be low in calories, but not good quality food. And that could cause us not to have energy. This is why folks end up having headaches, having brain fog, being tired all day. A lot of times it's come from like eating a lot of refined carbs. Okay. People who are just eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like they did when they was a teenager. And you can't do that. If you're doing that and you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, guys, you're gonna have a hard time losing weight. And so it's important that you have more structure and strategy around how many meals you're eating throughout the day. Because if you're just doing one, that means you're gonna have one big spike in your blood glucose. And then once that spike goes down, most people crash. And this is why a lot of people had itis. This is why a lot of people have sugar cravings and these like cravings for food because they're eating in that way. Instead, you want to be eating anywhere between 2 to 3 meals. 2 to 3 meals a day, 1 to 2 snacks a day. This is how my coaching clients are dropping this type of weight: 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. Okay. Um, and so that's the second thing. And by not skipping meals, this is going to help you stabilize your blood glucose. Okay. It's going to help you stabilize because when we eat anything, it's still going to spike a little bit. But if you're eating a lot of processed food and refined carbs, it's going to spike it. And when we get that huge spike, this is what causes a lot of people to have brain fog, the itis. And after this happens over a prolonged period of time, this is how a lot of people end up with pre and type 2 diabetes. Okay. And over a long period of time, people who continue to do it, this is how they end up having dementia. Dementia is a form of type 2 diabetes in the brain. Okay. Two is excess sugar, excess glucose inside the body. Okay. So it's not good. Not good. Um, Number three, visceral fat. Y'all know I talk a lot about like losing the big belly, all that good stuff. And here's the thing: a lot of people think about it just from like a vanity perspective, but getting rid of visceral fat is actually going to help you with your health, your hormonal health. Because if you have a lot of visceral fat, it's going to affect your hormones, meaning your cortisol is going to go up. Stress hormone makes it hard to build muscle, makes it hard to burn fat. Super important. Get rid of that and the visceral fat, and it also causes a lot of inflammation inside the gut. And so, super important to make sure you're not just working out for looks, but you're working out for your longevity. Like the type of people who are really successful in my program, and yeah, they want to look good, but they're doing it because they want to be around 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. They want to be around for the people they love and care about. They want to continue to excel in their career. And when they retire, they want to be able to enjoy their retirement versus they retired. And now I seen something on Instagram the other day that this guy was like, he just popped on. He was like Jerry or John, something like that, passed away. And he was a couple of months away from retiring. And he was just like, and this guy worked for years, decades for this company. And right before he was about to retire, gone just like that. And he had a whole message behind it. But the message that I got that I want to empower you guys with is you're building this wealth. You're building this nice portfolio. You're building, you have the 401k, all these things. You have the beautiful family, you had a house, and you want to be able to enjoy it once you reach retirement. You want to be able to enjoy your life and not feel like you're having to worry and stress about your health and your weight. And so, yes, losing belly fat is going to make you look better, but losing belly fat is also going to help you feel better inside and out. Okay. So that's number three. And then the last thing is this. Um, I'm proud of y'all for everybody who's gotten to this point in the video because it is important to seek information on your issues like pre-diabetes. It actually really is serious. I've lost people in my family to it. And so, well, type 2 diabetes because it didn't just stay at pre-diabetes for them. And so information is important. And a lot of people would say knowledge is power, but knowledge without execution is not power. Knowledge, but not doing anything about it is just like not knowing it. And so the people who I see who struggle the most, they're always consuming. They're always consuming and they're bloated with information. And then they reach a point where they don't know what to do and they're overwhelmed. Or they're trying things, but they're not getting the results that they want to. It's like trying to bake a cake without the recipe, but they have the ingredients. A lot of people who are just collecting information, they have the ingredients, but they're not getting the results because they don't have the recipe. Okay. And that's why they just end up with a mess. And the recipe is the structure, guys. If you want to be able to overcome pre-diabetes and get your health all the way on point, get your body on point, look and feel your best, not just now, but long term, it's important that you start paying attention to not just the information, but the type of structure and strategies that are going to work the best for you. not for Joe Blow. What's going to work the best for you? Because I've had plenty of coaching clients join my program, and they've done generic meal plans, cookie cutter workout plans. And the reason that my clients are so successful is not because they're like some superstar bodybuilders or just like have a ton of willpower and discipline. No, like people who are great at what they do, of course we put in effort. Of course you have to be committed. Like the people who are lazy, they get what lazy people get, nothing. But the people who are already committed, but they are committing to the right plan with the right strategy that fits their life and doesn't work against it, this is how you not only get the results, but you can keep them. Who wants to be able to drop 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or more and gain all of it back? Like, what's the point of doing that? It's one is discouraging. Two, it could be downright embarrassing. Because not only did you see you lost that weight and gained it back, everybody around you did too. And so it's important that you focus on getting the right structure and strategy and not just taking so long consuming information, because information without implementation, guys, you're going to be running in circles. Okay. But other than that, guys, this is how you put yourself in a position where you can fix the pre-diabetes before it gets worse. All right. If you would like my help to put together a structured plan for you, that way you're not guessing and wasting time with trial and error, I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way you can explore the opportunity of us working together. All right. We out of here. Let's get it.